The vast darkness of space stretched endlessly, punctuated by distant starlight. Captain J. Park stood on the bridge of the human exploration vessel Horizon, his eyes fixed on the holographic display showing an unknown alien craft approaching. The ship's sensors hummed with quiet intensity, scanning the mysterious vessel that had suddenly appeared at the edge of human-explored space. Yoon Lee, the chief science officer, broke the silence. "Captain, the alien vessel's configuration doesn't match any known species in our database." Her fingers danced across the control panel, pulling up intricate scans and data streams. Jay nodded, his hand resting casually near the communication controls. Years of space exploration had taught him that first encounters could be unpredictable. The alien ship looked nothing like human designs. Its surface was a complex blend of metallic curves and organic-looking protrusions that seemed to shift and change even as they watched. "Open a standard communication channel," Jay commanded. His voice was calm, betraying none of the tension that buzzed through the ship's crew. A moment passed. Then another. The alien vessel remained silent. Suddenly, a burst of strange rhythmic sounds erupted through the communication systems. It wasn't language as humans understood it, more like a complex mathematical pattern of clicks, hums, and oscillating tones. Yoon Lee's eyes widened. "They're attempting communication, but it's not like anything we've ever encountered before." She worked quickly, running the sounds through multiple translation algorithms. The Horizon's crew watched in tense silence. This was humanity's chance to prove itself in the galactic arena, a moment that could define their species' future among the stars. On the alien ship, a being that might have been considered a leader watched the human vessel with equal curiosity. To the alien intelligence, humans were an anomaly, a young species that seemed both primitive and unexpectedly complex. J. Park made a decision. "Prepare a mathematical response," he told Yoon. "Use prime number sequences and universal mathematical constants. If they're intelligent, they'll understand." The ship's communication system began transmitting a carefully constructed sequence of mathematical patterns, a universal language that transcended spoken words. Prime numbers, the golden ratio, fundamental physical constants, a mathematical handshake that any advanced civilization might recognize. Minutes stretched into what felt like hours. The two ships hung in space, close enough to see each other's intricate details, yet separated by an immense cultural and technological gulf. Then, unexpectedly, a response came. Not in sound, but in a series of light pulses that danced across the alien ship's surface. It was a pattern, a response, an acknowledgement. "They're communicating," Yoon whispered, her hands flying across the control panel. "But it's not like any communication we've seen before." Jay watched the light patterns, understanding dawning in his eyes. This wasn't just a simple exchange of information. This was a test. The aliens were studying them, probing their capabilities, trying to understand the strange human vessel that had appeared in their space. The bridge crew remained silent, each member understanding the weight of this moment. Humanity's first true contact with an unknown alien intelligence was happening, right before their eyes. As the light patterns continued their complex dance, J. Park allowed himself a small smile. Humans had always been good at solving puzzles, at adapting, at finding ways to communicate and understand. This was just another puzzle, and humanity loved solving puzzles. The alien ship continued its mysterious light display, and the Horizon responded. Two intelligent species reaching across the vast, cold emptiness of space, trying to understand each other. Just another day of exploration for humanity. The colony on Epsilon Sigma looked peaceful from orbit. Neat agricultural domes gleamed under the soft light of a distant sun, surrounded by protective energy shields that had protected human settlements for decades. Commander Seok Choi watched the live feed with growing concern, his fingers tapping nervously against the command console. Warning sirens erupted suddenly, cutting through the calm of the monitoring station. Red lights began to pulse, casting an angry glow across the control room. "Multiple unidentified vessels approaching," reported a young technician, her voice tight with tension. They're not responding to standard communication protocols. Siak knew what was happening before the first attack began. The aliens from their previous encounter had returned, but this time they weren't interested in communication. The first plasma burst sliced through the colony's outer energy shield like a hot knife through butter. Agricultural domes exploded, in brilliant bursts of fire and fragmented metal. Colonists ran, their emergency protocols kicking in with practiced precision. On the command ship, Yun Kang worked furiously. His fingers danced across multiple communication and defense systems, attempting to analyze the alien attack patterns. "They're using a weapon signature we've never seen before," he shouted to Siak. "Adaptive plasma technology that shifts frequency faster than our shields can compensate." The colony's defense systems struggled. Automated turrets fired back, but the alien ships moved with an almost liquid grace, dodging and weaving through attack patterns that would have destroyed standard military vessels. Siak understood immediately. This was a test. The aliens weren't just attacking, they were studying human defensive capabilities, probing for weaknesses. "Prepare emergency evacuation protocols," he commanded, "and get me a direct line to fleet headquarters." In the colony below, civilians moved with surprising calm. Years of space exploration training meant every colonist knew exactly what to do during an attack. Families moved in coordinated groups, children guided by parents, medical teams setting up emergency evacuation points. The alien commander, watching from his vessel, felt a moment of unexpected surprise. These humans didn't panic. They responded with a disciplined efficiency that was almost unexpected. Yoon's voice cut through the chaos. "Commander, I've identified a pattern in their attack sequence. They're methodical, almost mathematical in their approach." Sork's eyes narrowed. Mathematical meant predictable, and predictable meant beatable. "Prepare a counter-frequency transmission," he ordered. "We're going to show them that humans adapt faster than they can predict." The colony's remaining defense system suddenly shifted. Instead of random defensive patterns, they began responding with a precise, calculated series of counterattacks. Each alien ship's movement was anticipated, each weapon burst redirected. The alien commander watched in growing frustration. These humans were supposed to be primitive. They were supposed to be easy targets. But something was happening that no one had expected. The humans were learning, in real time, adapting faster than any species the aliens had encountered before. Plasma bursts that had been devastating minutes earlier were now being absorbed and redirected. The colony's defenses were transforming, becoming something entirely new with each passing moment. Yoon looked up, a rare smile crossing his face. "We're not just defending anymore. We're teaching them a lesson." The battle continued, a complex dance of technology and strategy. What had started as a simple attack was becoming something far more significant, a demonstration of human potential. In space, above a burning colony that refused to be destroyed, humanity was showing the universe something important. We don't just survive, we evolve. The research facility hummed with an electric intensity that felt almost alive. Dr. Wu Han stood before a massive holographic display, his eyes reflecting lines of complex data that shifted and pulsed like living information. Around him, engineers and scientists worked with a focused determination that spoke of something larger than just another research project. Nova 7, the artificial intelligence system, processed information at speeds that would have been impossible just months earlier. Its neural networks had been completely redesigned after the recent alien encounter, learning and adapting with each millisecond of data input. "The quantum resonance is stabilizing," Wu muttered, more to himself than to anyone else in the room. Fragments of alien technology recovered from the previous battle lay scattered across analysis tables, strange metallic fragments that seemed to defy conventional understanding of physics. Captain J. Park entered the lab, his military uniform, a stark contrast to the white research environment. "Status report," he demanded, not as a question but as a statement. Wu's hands moved across the holographic interface. Suddenly, the entire room transformed. Holographic representations of alien weapon systems began to deconstruct themselves, revealing intricate weakness points that no previous analysis had discovered. "We're not just studying their technology," Wu explained. "We're understanding it at a molecular level. Their adaptive plasma weapons have a quantum signature that we can actually predict and counter." Nova 7's voice emerged, not mechanical, but with a subtle complexity that suggested something more than simple programming. Analyzing potential counter frequencies. Estimated success rate, 87.6%. The breakthrough wasn't just technological. It was a fundamental shift in human understanding of advanced warfare. Outside the research facility, massive construction platforms were already building prototype ships. These weren't just improvements on existing designs. They were completely new vessels that incorporated the alien technology insights. Yun Kang, who had been instrumental in the previous battle's defense, walked in with additional data modules. "The alien communication patterns we intercepted," he said. "They're not just random. They're a complex mathematical language that our new AI systems are beginning to comprehend." Captain Park watched the holographic displays, understanding the magnitude of what was happening. Humanity wasn't just defending anymore. They were learning, adapting, transforming. Nova 7 continued its analysis. Weapon systems that had seemed impossible weeks ago were now being designed, tested, and refined in virtual environments. Each simulation ran thousands of potential scenarios, learning and adjusting with inhuman speed. Dr. Wu noticed something extraordinary. The alien technology fragments weren't just being studied, they were being integrated. Quantum processors were being built that mimicked and then improved upon the alien designs. "We're not copying," Wu explained to Captain Park. "We're understanding and then we're making it better." The room felt charged with potential. Military engineers worked alongside quantum physicists. Computer specialists collaborated with xenotechnology. Experts. The boundaries between disciplines were dissolving, creating something entirely new. Nova 7 projected a complex simulation. Alien weapon systems were being systematically analyzed, their weaknesses exposed, potential counter-strategies developed in real time. What would have taken years of traditional research was now happening in hours. "Breakthrough complete," Nova 7 announced. The statement carried more weight than a simple computer output. It felt like a declaration. Captain Park looked at Dr. Wu. No words were necessary. They both understood what was happening. Humanity was taking a quantum leap in technological evolution. The research facility continued its work. Outside, construction platforms built ships that would have seemed like science fiction mere months earlier. Quantum processors hummed. Artificial intelligence systems learned and adapted. Somewhere in the vast darkness of space, the alien species that had attacked would soon learn a crucial lesson. Humans don't just adapt. They transform, and they do it faster than anyone could imagine. The fleet assembled like a silent predator, sleek ships gleaming with technologies that blended human innovation and captured alien designs. Strike Team Leader Ji-Hoon Park stood on the bridge of the flagship Quantum Blade, his eyes fixed on the holographic star map showing their target. "We're not just defending anymore," he told his crew. "We're taking the fight to them." Sora Kim, the reconnaissance officer, had spent weeks analyzing alien communication patterns. Her work had revealed something extraordinary. The aliens' entire communication network had predictable weaknesses. Weaknesses that humans could exploit. The first phase of the counteroffensive began quietly. Stealth ships equipped with advanced quantum jammers slipped through the alien defensive perimeter like ghosts. Their mission was simple but complex. Disrupt, confuse, and create chaos. Alien communication networks suddenly found themselves bombarded with complex mathematical signals that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere. Navigation systems went haywire. Command structures became confused. Admiral Hyun Kim watched from the central command station, a slight smile crossing his face. Humans had always been good at turning systems against themselves. The quantum jammers did more than just create confusion. They were learning, adapting, becoming smarter with each millisecond of interaction. What started as electronic warfare was becoming something more, a living, breathing intelligence that could think faster than its opponents. Alien ships began to drift. Their precise formations collapsed. Communication became fragmented, then impossible. Ji-hoon's voice was calm. First wave of disruption complete, preparing for direct engagement. The quantum blade moved with a grace that defied traditional understanding of space combat. Its weapons were not just destructive, they were intelligent. Each plasma burst calculated multiple potential outcomes, adjusting trajectory in microseconds. Sora's hands danced across her control panel. "I'm feeding their own communication patterns back to them," she reported. "They're experiencing a recursive communication loop that's causing total system shutdown." It wasn't just a battle. It was a complete systemic collapse. Alien ships that had seemed invincible during previous encounters now looked like confused children. Their adaptive technologies, once their greatest strength, were being used against them. Every defensive mechanism they developed was instantly analyzed and countered. "They thought we were primitive," Admiral Kim muttered. "They never understood what humans are capable of." The counteroffensive moved through alien territory like a precise surgical instrument. No unnecessary destruction, no random attacks. Just a methodical dismantling of an entire military infrastructure. Ji-hoon understood the strategy perfectly. This wasn't about total destruction. This was about sending a message. Humans could defend themselves. Humans could adapt. Humans could win. Nova 7, the AI system that had become crucial to human military operations, processed battle information at speeds that made human calculation look like child's play. It wasn't just analyzing the current battle. It was learning, creating strategies that would be useful in potential future conflicts. Alien command structures began to collapse. Communication networks fell apart. Their once proud fleet became a collection of isolated, confused vessels. "We're giving them a choice," Ji-hoon told his crew. "Surrender or be systematically neutralized." The message was clear. Humanity wasn't looking for total annihilation. They were establishing a new galactic understanding. Respect us or face the consequences. As the battle concluded, something extraordinary happened. The remaining alien ships didn't just surrender. They stopped fighting entirely, as if suddenly understanding that they were dealing with something fundamentally different. Sora looked up from her console. "They're broadcasting a surrender signal," she said, her voice a mix of professional calm and subtle excitement. Admiral Kim nodded. One battle. Minimal human casualties. A complete strategic victory. Just another day for humanity. The quantum blade moved silently through space, a testament to human innovation, adaptability, and unexpected potential. The universe was learning an important lesson.